Alright guys, and so Loki episode 4 of season 2 just finished, and wow, I'm just absolutely speechless of what I just saw, and this was a great episode of Loki season 2, and even for how this whole episode played out, and even for how the episode ended, and even on such a cliffhanger that left us wanting like even more, and even with this episode involving Victor Timely, Loki, Mobius, and the entire gang, and even with the TV in danger and so much more. And so this will be my ending explain for Loki episode 4 of season 2, and there are going to be major spoilers ahead, so if you have not seen it, click away now and come back to this video after you've seen the episode. But if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe and click the bell so much on any videos. So let's get into it. With the way that this episode opens up is with Renslayer, who is sent to the Citadel at the end of time for when we last saw her in the last episode, as she was sent there as punishment by Sylvie, and that it was about to be revealed like a secret about her and he who remains obviously king, and that even as she like watches over like a video footage of Renslayer and he who remains together, and this was the audio that we heard on the tape from the very first episode when Loki was listening on the conversation, and even as like Renslayer left, even with he who remains tells Miss Minutes, and that like he is going to erase all of the memories of all the people that were sent here to the TVA so that they could be all variants, and even with his plan. And even what the purpose of this episode is with Loki and Mobius that bring Victor Timely into the TVA, it's because they need his help with the temporal loom that it needs to be fixed, and even to prevent the timelines from being pruned, and even to prevent the TVA from being destroyed, and even with the throughput multiplier I need to use it to make the rings wider so that more branches can come out, and just so that it can like create more branches and to prevent them from being pruned and to even save the TVA. For how this episode looks and how it feels, it's sort of like high stakes as to save the TVA from being destroyed, especially with the temporal loom that has to create more branches. Otherwise, like time will be lost for forever, and even that it's up to Loki, Mobius, and the entire gang to even save it all. And now, with this scene right here, for when we see Renslayer talking to dogs, it's letting her and everyone else join her and Miss Minutes to get alive on the timeline if they want it, and then like none of them accept their offer, and with X5 that joins them, but even with the rest of them that get crushed to death by Miss Minutes when she turns on that torture machine, and even with an X5 that is now going with Renslayer and Miss Minutes, and even with the rest of them that are now dead. And next, that we see Victor Timely, Mobius, Obi, and Casey trying to get the diagnostics for the multiplier, and then they try to use the temp pad, but when they realize that Miss Minutes is taking over the system, she is controlling it all, and because and now that they have to get to the temporal loom fast, and even with Renslayer, as definitely with Miss Minutes, that even because with the Miss Minutes that is definitely controlling everything. But for what's most surprising is that in this scene right here is that it answered everyone's questions for when it was somehow in episode 1 for when Loki was pruned back at the end of the first episode, but now we realize the answer of who pruned Loki, and this is what happens when Sylvie is in the elevator, but then it closes and won't Loki go in, and then we see this version of Loki in the future, and then this is from the first episode, and then it drops on a floor, but then even with the elevators that are closed, and Sylvie tries to pry it open and try to force it, and then we see this version of Loki with a prune stick, and then like it immediately goes to prune himself, and just even what's crazy is that with another version of Loki that like prunes a version of himself, and like that's how we see the phone ring, and then even for when it rings, it's Obi on the other side. So that answers the question of who pruned Loki. And next we see a Renslayer X5 is sending a timeline down, and so it's telling Renslayer like the secret of what he has kept like from her, and even for how like it's sort of about to be revealed, but then like we see X5 going towards Loki, and then like even I didn't want like a rematch, but then like Sylvie, I think she like manipulated him, and then like the next thing that we see is that we see X5 immediately pruning Renslayer, and like, even for everyone's asking, is Renslayer really dead? But like to us, I mean, I don't think she is, because even in trailer footage, like she does end up in the void, and that's how we saw it in like Loki's season 1. And I think that with Renslayer, that she is definitely in the void. And now let's talk about that like shocking ending, and even with the cliffhanger, and that like definitely blew our minds. Okay, so that we see Loki, Mobius, and the game that are trying to fix the temporal loom by using the throughput multiplier to fix it all, and it's a sign of who should go out there, and he will Loki and that like volunteers to go, but then even with Victor Timely says that he wants to go, but then they had to move fast, and then even that will be that like he immediately sends a Victor Timely out there, and then we see the most shocking thing ever. Like as soon as he steps out, that like he immediately dies, immediately turning into spaghetti, and like I think we don't know what this is a reference from, and then and now that Victor Timely is dead, like he is gone, and then we see the temporal loom explode, and then even like with this episode with the final shot, it ends on Loki's face, and then the whole place shakes up, and then it immediately fades to black. And now that we have 2 episodes left of Loki season 2, there's like so many questions and theories, especially for where the gang has now ended up, and now that the temporal loom has exploded, and I think in these last 2 episodes, especially for how Loki season 2 will end, I guess we'll just have to wait and see even for how the next episode will even start, but I guess we're in the end game now. But I think this left us like a shocking and just even wanting more. And yeah, so my final thoughts is that I think that this episode of Loki season 2 was definitely my favorite, and it was definitely high stakes, and even with the score and that cliffhanger ending, I definitely loved us wanting more. And even like for how this new season of Loki will end, especially as we have only 2 episodes left, and we have so much that has to get answered, and like where Loki, Mobius, and the gang have all ended up, and especially after that cliffhanger. But I think all that is about to be answered, especially in the last 2 episodes. Like there's like so many predictions and theories out there, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And so that is going to be it for this video, and are you as shocked as I am for the way that this episode ended? And what are your thoughts on Loki season 2 episode 4? And give me a rating to 1 out of 10. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow my social, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.